Okay, let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Okay, so before we start our day one, I would just like to have a quick round of introduction and what is your expectation from this course and what are you doing right now? Something about yourself, if you can share it. Okay, so let me introduce myself as well. Okay, so my name is Amit. Uh, you can call me Amit P just to differentiate because Amit is a common name. In previous batches, there were a lot of Amit there, so nobody was able to recognize who is basically, giving the training. So you can, tell me as Amit P, and I am having around 23 plus years of experience. So started my career as an Oracle Apps DBA directly. Okay, at that point of time, I was not knowing about anything on the Oracle side, and then slowly on the learn the application, then the database. So believe me, the database part is the most important part of any organization and learning about. So I think most of you are having an experience on the DBA side. So that is going to be useful. Don't feel that okay, that is not going to be used anywhere. Even if you move it on the cloud, that experience is very much needed. Okay, so that is there. Then I from last 2016 2015 onwards, worked on the Oracle cloud. Before that, yes, I was working on AWS and all, when there was not much of the buzz of cloud technology there. Only AWS was there. uh, so learning the things, like learn the DevOps on the Oracle cloud side, various things I have learned, and I am with on the training side since 2006 onwards. Okay, working with Atul and me were in the same batch post graduation, and we started, learning and then started sharing the knowledge to the community. So 2006 onwards into trainings, completed couple of batches. I took even the Apps DBA batch in the past as well. And then from last couple of years, I am taking cloud batches. I am based out in Canada, Calgary. So I'm in mountain time. But yes, so this is like my 7:30 in the morning currently. But yes, I am very passionate about, sharing my knowledge to the community, trainings and all. So that is where, I enjoy, and I uh, try to always give my best and share as much as I can. But yes, always, I focus on the interactive sessions. Okay, in case, but yes, interaction at a logical point. When I'm going through the session, at each logical point, I'll just open it for the questions, and we can, discuss it further. Keep your questions with you, and we can discuss it as well. Most of the time, it feels like, that or the training programs are always going to be just giving the session and no practical is going to happen. But that is not the case with me. I always prefer to have an practical sessions where you can just make your hands dirty, see how things works, do your assignments, come back to us, share that, okay, where you are stuck, what are the challenges you have faced it. So those kind of things. So from since beginning, I am having that kind of sessions at my end. So that is where, because unless and until you are not making your hands dirty, you will never gain a confidence. So that is where my pattern is. And let's start with our today's session. So today's session is going to be a bit, a theoretical concept wise. Okay, where just a concept is going to be there. Most of the concepts you might be knowing it, but yes, I will say that, okay, when you are a bit new to cloud, I can see if you are there to new to cloud, I will say that, okay, at least understand the terminology so that when you are talking to the customer for any kind of services or so, then you will have that clarity. And believe me, even I am working with multiple customers. People are not clear that what is IaaS, what is PaaS, and what is SaaS. Okay, so that is the challenge where you always have to, like, even in today's, I have got multiple meetings scheduled today. I have got 2 projects, my go live, which is going to be live today. So those, even today also, like, they are asking that, okay, which database service it is, whether it is a PaaS, how you are going to, can you bounce the database which is running on the SaaS side? So all those kind of questions are coming to me. Okay, but if you understand that, okay, what basically is all about the IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, then at least you will be able to confidently say that, okay, this is under our control, this is not under our control, right? So I'm going to share my experience as well throughout my journey with my customers and all, time to time, and we are going to have a discussion over there. And yes, if you have any such kind of stories and experiences, don't hesitate to share it with everyone. Okay, so let's start with our today's class. And yeah, so today's class, again, okay, let me give you some initial, this is a one-time update I always give. So my sessions, I'm going to have a 3 to 4 hour session. Okay, some sessions are 3 hours, some sessions are 4 hours of session, too, giving 1 or 2 breaks in between, depending upon, like, how you are exhausted. But yeah, breaks will be there to refresh yourself. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes break in between. And during the session, yes, at each logical point, you can ask the questions and queries. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show everything what is there in the cloud world from my end. Okay. Yeah. And yes, each session is recorded. So in case if you need anything there or you have missed it out, go through the recording. And in case of any queries or so, you can again come back. So let me move. So this is Atul. You know him very well. He is helping the helping students and to upskill themselves on various platforms, various cloud. This is basically focused on um, Oracle Cloud, our sessions. But yeah, Atul is well on the Azure, AWS, and everyone. So yeah, I know him. I think now from 23 years onwards. This is about myself. So I'm also having a same 23 years of experience. I have got an expertise on Oracle Cloud. I have expertise on Azure side as well. I'm working on AWS side too, and Terraform. Terraform is basically the automation of your infrastructure. So that is where I have an expertise. And nowadays, if you really ask me, most of the companies are asking for the automation of the infrastructure, how it is, how the CI/CD is there, and all. Yeah, so that is all we are going to discuss as well in our during our journey too. Right. So let's start with our today's session on the cloud. So this is basically a job-oriented program. We have a complete sessions over the weekend. Sometime we have a Saturday and Sunday session, and sometime we have a one session in a week as well. So those are all scheduled, and all the schedules are published as well, and you can go through it. Like if I say talk about the networking, so it is not possible to give break, because networking is important as well as a lengthy topic too. Lot many things are there. So that is where the session got breaked into two, but it is going to be on Saturday and Sunday, because that is where the continuity comes into picture. Okay, so let's talk about the cloud concepts in our today's session. We are going to talk about the service model, deployment model, some of the fundamental terms which are used in the cloud arena, and also we are going to walk through uh, to the Oracle Cloud Console, how it looks like, just to give you a feel that what all services are there in that, what all things are there. And then from our next session, we are going to take a deep dive into the cloud services, Oracle Cloud Services. Okay, so under the Oracle Cloud Services, the main services, if I say want to list it down at a very high level, is going to be an identity and access management services, where you are going to control your users and everything. Then comes your networking services, which is most important one, because that is going to be a base for deploying any kind of infrastructure. And then comes your compute, where you are going to run your applications. With computes, you need a storage as well. So then storage services is going to come into picture. And apart from that, it comes Oracle database service, which is going to be one of the most important service, and one of the best service in the cloud world, in basically in the IT world. The best database which is provided is by Oracle. So we are going to see the complete portfolio, one dedicated session. Then migration as well, how the database migration and the application migration, because that is the point where it make more sense. You will be aware of everything. So we will cover those things. And then after that, we are going to have the observability, like you are running your applications and everything on the cloud, how you are going to do the monitoring, how you are going to take care of the security pushes, how you are going to take care of the security aspect, because that is one of the most challenging aspect in the cloud world. So that is what we are going to take a deep dive there. And then, yes, whatever your the certifications are available for the cloud, and then your job orientation, how you can showcase yourself as a person who is experienced on Oracle Cloud. So that is what we are going to see time to time. Right. So today's, most of you might be aware of these concepts. So don't it is always good to have a briefing of that or repeat of that. Okay. So traditional architecture. So till now, if you see that you are either having something which is going to be in your traditional data centers, all the infrastructure, you are going to own it, and then you are running your applications and all those stuff running on these traditional data centers, where you are going to have purchased all the networking equipments. You have purchased all the big servers according to the requirement of your organization, and maybe thinking about, like, in next 2 years, that much growth might be there on the data side. So you have added you have brought the CPUs, higher CPU values. Maybe today you might be using only 10 CPUs, but your server capacities is going to be of, say, 60 or 70 or hundreds of CPUs there. Okay, but still you are running that, and you are having all those things. Then connectivity, how it can be securely connected, accessed within your organization. Some applications, maybe some vendor might also want to access your application, so you have exposed it via some say application, or maybe some open the ports there. So that is where your complete traditional setup is uh, you know uh, going on till now. But what is there? Okay, what basically is the challenges there, why this cloud has come into picture? When you talk about the traditional data center, that is basically where you have to take a big space, need to set up your all the cooling setup is there, ACs and maybe some coolant or something is going to be there running. The entire power supply needs to be there. You need to maintain your space. So that is one of the additional cost. Okay, operational cost, I will say. But on the other hand, all the servers and everything, you need to buy it. Okay, you need to own it. It is not like you can just take it, use it, and give it back. Okay, so that is where the capital expenses also comes into picture. A heavy capital expenses. Okay, so it is not like just 1 or 2 day decision. It might take months together to plan it, to get, say, one server or two servers for setting up your application and all. And with time, these hardware again, you need to either it might be de-supported or some or the other limitation might be there. You need to upgrade it. So those that also comes under the operational expenses or operational cost. Then when you want to scale it up, as you are growing, your company is growing, more storage data is there, you need to add more storage, but your server might have limitation. Then you have to find out that, okay, how I can move the current data to the another storage server and then handle it. Okay, or maybe move to a new server which has got more storage capacity. So scalability is always a challenge there. Okay, and of course you need to have more manpower there who can support that throughout round the clock. You need it. And in case if you are say planning for your DR, so that is one of the biggest challenge. Most of the companies doesn't have any DR solution, because DR solution needs more cost. You need to have a data center which is going to be say in another seismic zone, which is like you need to decide it, you need to see how it is there. All the connectivities needs to be set up between the two data centers. So it is again going to be in the say set up a complete data center for the disaster recovery, which is basically kind of say insurance. You are going to pay the premium. Life insurance is what you are paying the premium for the benefits which your loved ones will get it after when you are no more there, right? That is not for us. So disaster recovery is same thing. The application, the hardware which you are going to set it up, that is not going to be used. That is only going to be helpful in case if any disaster happens, which is not the daily stuff, right? So that's why that mindset is not there, and that is where that part is most of the time ignored. But when it comes, then you will be facing a lot of data loss. So those kind of challenges are there in the traditional. So remember, like you are say all experienced people, then in your organization, when there was a requirement of purchasing the server, and how much time it took right from the planning till it get it delivered in your data center. See that time frame. So that is going to be too much, right? And it is definitely, I will say that at that point of time we don't have a choice, but right now if you see, that is not an acceptable solution. So these were like all the challenges there. And then comes the cloud computing. Okay, so cloud computing is something where the same resources, so resources, I will say in the cloud world, all your storage, compute, networking, anything which is there are termed under the resources. So all your resources that will be owned by someone who is going to do a dedicated task of maintaining them, you only have to use that. Okay, so that is again in the traditional one, the data centers owners were different and you are using it. But that is something not very much towards the cloud. Okay, because there also the scalability and the elasticity and the DR part is always a challenge there, right? But in cloud, what happens is you are getting all those resources that may be the shared resources as well. And in case tomorrow your requirement is to add one more server, you don't have to wait for months or weeks. It is just a click away. Go ahead, click it, and get it done. So your complete, say, capital expenses, that is completely gone. Because say I am provisioning one server right now for say 3 days. So I'm only going to pay for those 3 days. That means pay as you go. Whatever you are using it, you are paying for that. So you are not owning anything. So there will be no capital expenses. There might be some operational expenses because whatever say you are owning, you are using it, you need to maintain that, you need to apply the patch or anything. In most of the cases, that is also taken care by the vendor. Okay, but that depends upon like which model it is. So that will be more clear when we are seeing about the service model. Okay, so this is say your data center, a cloud data center which has got all the resources available, and then as an end user you are accessing it, these services from some remote location. Okay, but here, you know, the cloud computing challenges are different. Okay, the first and the foremost challenge is about this area. What about the security? This is like say over an internet, or maybe you have got set up tunnel, a secure tunnel to access this. So this is one of the challenge. Another challenge is, as in cloud world, this is all going to be the shared one, right? Centrally located, or where it is going to be shared by multiple customers, not just one. So how my data is going to be secure within the data center? What model it is, how it is designed. So that is another challenge which comes in the cloud world. Apart from that, yes, when you are say on premise, you have got various customized solution, which is say going to be according to your requirement, your company needs. Like say, the backups, you don't want it regularly there for the non-prod, or say production backup, you want it in your own way. Maybe at some particular point you want one level of backup, then for the another days you are not going to take the incremental, but you are taking the full backup. That is what your company's requirement was. You were able to have various custom ports which you are using it, like for the database 1521 is for the production, but for non-production it can be 1524, 1528, whatever it is, right? So there was no standardization on the traditional architecture. Okay, whatever according to your company's requirement was there, you were able to customize that and you were able to use accordingly. But that is not there in the cloud arena. Okay, the cloud was basically introduced to reduce the maintenance side. Okay, to reduce the cost, of course, and to reduce the maintenance side. Okay, you don't have to always remember and configure it in the customized way. It is going to be say the standardized solution. Like if I say talk about the database services which Oracle provide, the port number is always 1521, whether it is your production, whether it is your non-production. Okay, so to a certain level, the standardizations were introduced so that the maintenance side get reduced. You don't have to worry about many things. You can automate certain things there. So that is another challenge. So you need to adapt those things, and you need to say learn the way how it is configured on the cloud side and how you are going to maintain it. The databases refreshes, the application setup, the single sign on, how it is going to be there. On the traditional one, yes, you are very much comfortable, but on the cloud side, how it is going to be. So these are like all the challenges which comes when you are seeing it on the cloud. But these are like all the challenges, but you have solution for that. So you need to learn about those solutions, that okay, how that is going to be there, how things are going to be maintained there, right? So that is where we are going to talk about it. Right. So this is what about cloud computing is, that you are somebody else is owning and you are going to have the availability of that okay, whatever you want to use it, you can just start using it according to. So you will be having a, I will say that okay, all the services are available and according to your requirement, you can use those services. Okay, now let me just quickly give you a glimpse of Oracle Cloud Computing or Oracle Cloud, how the console looks like. Okay, I'm just stop the sharing and will start my complete screen. So where is that? Where is the sharing thing is there? Okay, here it is. Let me share my entire screen. Okay, yeah, I hope you are able to see my screen as well now. And I'm just going to the Oracle Cloud login. And so are you able to see my this screen as well, right? The cloud Oracle Cloud screen, just confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is where our cloud services looks like. This is an Oracle Cloud login. Okay, we'll see what all these is explained. What is this US East Ashburn? It is okay. So let's start with here itself. So Oracle Cloud is any cloud, I will say, but yes, we are focusing on the Oracle side. So Oracle Cloud is basically having a lot of data centers across the globe. Okay, and these data centers are basically the data centers where you have got all the services, all the infrastructure is deployed in that data center. Okay, now there might be various situations where you can come and ask me that okay, why so many data centers? Why it cannot be just have one central data center and then can be accessed by everyone? Okay, so again, this is there single point of failure when you want to design anything. So in one data center, you cannot put everything. And another challenge which comes is the compliance, right? So that's why Oracle has got various data center, which are termed as the cloud data center. And according to your location, your customer user base is their maximum. You can plan that, okay, which data center you need to select. Okay, this also covers the compliance requirement too. Like your data should be within your country. It should not be going, the data should reside in the same country. Maybe the sensitive data might be there. So in those cases, the data governance comes into picture, that where your data should reside. So you are going to keep the data like in Middle East or maybe in Europe. There is a strict policy that your data should reside within the country. It should not be going outside the country. So those compliance are also there. So that's why in all those regions, in all wherever across the globe, the data centers are established. And apart from that, yes, if say you are enterprise company, then you also want to have the disaster recovery setup. Okay, and that disaster recovery setup should also be having the compliance requirement. So within the country, there might be multiple data centers which needs to be set so that you can plan for your DR, you can plan for your other stuff. So that is where you have got various data center. And if I want to show you that, okay, how many data centers are there or for Oracle, so I can show you the complete list from the console itself. So these are like all the data centers. Okay, so these are like 4 pages. You can see further. Singapore, South Africa, Korea. So these are the one. Okay, so till here you have got around 37 data centers. Yeah.
Can you just click on left? I mean, page 2, for example.
Oh, okay. Page 2. Okay. Yeah, this one.
Okay. No, I think maybe page 4. This is like, for example, the Dubai, or maybe, okay, for example, here in saying India South in
Right.
Hyderabad and India West is the Mumbai.
Mumbai. Yeah.
So how many data center is in India now? I mean, for if somebody gonna ask me how many sites is based in India. So for the HA perspective, if I say, okay, we have 2, like one in Hyderabad, one in Mumbai. So is this 2 data centers there or it's
right? So exactly. So what what Oracle has done is Oracle has defined everything as a region.
Okay, region means like
which
one
is
data center.
Region is basically a geographical location, and yes, it is basically belongs to one data center. So these are like all the regions. Okay. And here if you see that in India region, so it is not depending on the country. Okay, it is basically the region which Oracle is defining. So here you can say in India they have got 2 regions. One is in Hyderabad, India South, and another one is in India West. Okay, now lot of things are considered when Oracle is adding another data center in the same country. Okay, so what they are doing, the main criteria is they do the complete geographical study and see that, okay, like if you are talking about Hyderabad and Mumbai, they are totally in the 2 different seismic zone.
Okay, yeah, exactly. This is South and West, right?
South and West. So that is where, in case you want to plan for your DR, yes, so this is and this is also going to be in compliance with the same your data compliance
Here
as well,
was
right?
my second question. It's like in India is, if you concern about India, okay, the sensitivity or SLA or compliance point of view, data or your security concern of the Europe organizations, like it's possible to India is a good choice. I mean, from if Hyderabad is a main site, Mumbai I can make the DR, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Which what about the other which have only one data center? Like for example, Germany Central, right? See.
Yeah. So see, Germany basically, Germany comes under the Europe side, right? So there the entire region kind of compliance will be there. Like, you can keep your data outside the country, but it should be in the same region. So that compliance, that rules might be there. Okay, like if you see where it is not there, like France, there those kind of things are not there. So they have added 2 data centers. So Oracle is basically doing a complete study.
It's like near future you can say, okay, we're going to build.
Oh yes, for sure.
What
so
about the
Oracle
current
has got
situation? If my country doesn't have have only one data center in my region, and they are saying if I put your data in other region, for example, like for German, okay, I put in the Colorado or somewhere else in the same Europe region, but it will not go out from the Europe region. But it's not my requirement. My requirement is supposed to be in the same state, right?
Yeah, if that is your requirement, then yes, definitely you need to consider some another aspects as well. Okay, because see,
Okay.
Oracle has got a complete roadmap, like, you know, where how many data centers are going to come and what all is going to be there, right? So you need to plan that way. And yes,
So
Oracle
okay, in
gives,
this, if you're talking about my concern here, or my yes, sir, that if is a situation like this, if you're talking about the Oracle Cloud, for example, what else? What if I suggest, okay, I will not go to the cloud, I will go in the on-premise cloud, you know? So do you think it will be the valid reason, I mean, for to not to move cloud if you have only one data center in your region, something like this?
no, I will say that in that case, you
Because
know,
top of that, the
you
priority is that the organization is the compliance and plus security of your data.
yeah,
Data is the most important for any other country, of especially for the financial sector, for example, like banks or maybe government point of view,
for
you know.
sure.
Yeah.
So let me answer you this. Okay, so still in that case, you know, I will not consider that might be the reason not to move to cloud. But again, where the data centers
No, I
are
will
not
want to move to
there,
cloud, but it's not actual
yes,
cloud. I will go to the on-premise cloud.
yeah. So there you have to come up with a hybrid solution. Like, you know, Oracle has got various offerings. Okay, like Oracle gives you a public data center. Oracle also gives you a private data center as well, where you can bring your resources to your traditional data center and
Okay.
run it as a cloud. So there also your cost is going to get reduced. You don't have to own the servers, right? So your capital expenses again will get reduced. That is where I'm we have done it for one of a big engineering manufacturing firm, where they don't want to move your data outside the premises. Okay, that was their requirement because that is all the sensitive data and it's a big enterprise organization. So what they have done is they have
So
went
what
to the
Oracle will
cloud.
do, they will deliver their own hardware, I mean,
Yeah,
infrastructure in my data
exactly. So that
center.
is known as the cloud at customer. Okay. So that service is known as the cloud at customer, where all the Exadata machines and the PCA devices has been delivered to the to the customer data center, and Oracle is going to have the connectivity there, and they are basically managing the hardware, and you are using it as a subscription based service. Okay, although it is going to be a bit costly than the public cloud services. Okay, but that is where your compliance and security is taken care.
In
And
addition
again,
here, what about the on-premise? If I ask Oracle to bring the hardware and on my cost, you know, I'm not going to pay, I will use and pay for this kind of, so I will buy the hardware, I put in my data center and make cloud.
yeah, but
Is there
when you are
valid, I
saying
mean, good
no,
practice?
no, that is not going to be a good practice, because there you are going to have a challenge about the elasticity, scalability, and all. Tomorrow your requirement is going to be, you know, use some other services. Okay, say
Okay.
you want to add more storage. On the traditional one, it is always going, if you are owning it, then you need to think twice that, okay, it is going to be, you know, so much of cost. Like today my requirement is 10 terabytes, but when you are purchasing it, you
If
are
I get
going to
off from Oracle
purchase.
to give me a 3-year or 5-year roadmap for this way, like for
Oh no, no, yeah.
example,
So that is what the cloud at customer is, right? 3 years or 5 years roadmap. Your Oracle is going to
no, no,
give their
no.
hardware.
About the hardware point of view, like you're saying, scale up. Okay, I mean, okay, you're saying today I get the 100 core or maybe
Mhm,
1 TB RAM. Okay, tomorrow
right?
after 1 month, some new project came and then we don't have space. We're lacking of the resources. So again, I have to
Mhm,
ask Oracle to increase the something like this. So why not? I will plan for this way. Okay, I don't want one
mhm.
TB memory or 100 core. Give me the 500 core like this to next 5-year plan for this based on my current status.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
in
So
this
that,
case, yeah, I think it will be expensive, but sure, no doubt about that. But my concern or my
yeah,
organization concern main about the data, you know. I
yeah,
don't want something like this to be play with the data or something like this to be done. So
right. So the same
do you
thing.
think, yeah, yeah.
That is what I am saying. Okay. Oracle is going to ship the hardware to your premises with the same understanding that today your requirement is this much, and after 3 years your requirement is going to get increased. So with that scalability, with those things, Oracle is going to put that hardware in your premises, in your data center. So
Okay.
now your data residency issues are solved, compliance issues are solved, everything is within your data center, right?
Correct.
And then these hardware maintenance is all taken care by Oracle itself. So they are going to maintain it. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. It is going to be the cloud services, same cloud services, but within your premises. And that is where
Okay.
your banking, your insurance sector
So
and
for
everything.
side, I mean, on both side, I have to ask Oracle to build my environment, like my main site, I mean, main data center or the
Yeah,
DR data center, the same region, right?
exactly. So, and Oracle has got an option where they are going to link everything. Okay, that means they are going to create a realm. So in that, you are going to have everything connected within
Okay. So
your
in short,
primary and the DR data center.
okay.
Okay, and then you are just going, so your data is not going outside these two premises anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, of course. I mean, again, is this one link is still up for the outside, but this is not possible. Like for the Oracle is responsible for managing entire structure of the hardware layer. I mean, the hypervisor layer of the my infrastructure. So of course, if they want to hook up or some fish up something, that they can do it. It's not a big deal. But
So
again,
you know
this is
what I
about
am going to
understanding.
do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to show you, like, my, next coming batches, coming sessions. I'm going to log into that customer, which has got this setup. Okay, that, and then how we can manage everything from the console. How you are going to see. I'm going to show you that a glimpse that, okay,
Okay.
how it looks like,
Okay, that's great.
right? So I'm going to show you so that it will be more clear. And these
Yes, but
services
my concern is
basically,
not clear here. For I just sorry
uh
for that.
no
We reach
problem.
on the
Yeah.
I reach on the final stage of for my understanding. I mean, okay, you said give your infrastructure to the Oracle
Mhm.
and use entire API, I mean services as a SaaS for your own data center, right? With the Oracle hardware. Okay.
Yeah.
The second option is here for me. Why I will give to infrastructure to Oracle to manage? Why not me? I mean, if I am able to manage my infrastructure myself, why not I
Mhm.
manage? So
Yeah, that is what you were doing it in the traditional one, right? You are managing your own data centers, right?
okay.
You are owning the hardware and you are
Mm-hmm.
managing it. That is what you are doing till now, right? Before cloud era, I can say. You
Okay.
are owning the hardware, you are managing it.
Do you
Okay,
not
but
think like cloud is just functionality and technology, not about the traditional this way? Like for
um,
example, for me, if I manage
mhm,
everything entire as PaaS or SaaS for the Oracle services provider or is providing the services, I will manage entire my stack. But still I'm in cloud, right?
yeah, still you are in cloud. And
Yes.
there, okay, now let me give you this thing. The customer for which we did it, okay, they were having an exactly same point. They were having an Exadata server, okay, on premise, and they were managing it Exadata 4, okay, where their database and everything is running. Now
Okay.
the challenge came was that in 3 years they are going to have a plan to acquire certain companies. They need to merge those companies as well. Okay, in that case the data volume will get increased, right? When
Okay.
you are
Yeah.
merging it
Yeah.
and doing everything.
Yeah. It's
But
happening.
their
It's happening,
Exadata
especially in the banks. Yeah.
Exadata 4 was not having that much thing, and that was out of support. And apart from that, when they want to say that, okay, we want to upgrade it to say the latest Exadata, the cost was pretty high. Okay, the budget was there, but the cost was very high for the infrastructure to own that and all. So what they did is, and apart from that, they were not having any kind of idea that, okay, how much they need to buy for scaling it further on the CPU side. Maybe, today they took it 100 CPUs, but when the data volume is getting increased, the storage, okay, they are ready to say, okay, I'm going to bear the storage, whatever the cost is. But what about the CPU? The scalability is a challenge, right? They want to try something new. They want to, since the technology is changing, they want to add something else on an ad hoc basis. They want to do some kind of experiment, do some kind of POCs internally, that okay, how their say analytics services, so analytics, they can improve it. Right now, I am supporting
Okay.
them from last 3 years. Okay, and these are the things they are having the Informatica and the BI, the Power BI. They are using it, way too old. Now they want to try something new, the analytics services, what all is there, something like the AI services as well. On your on-premise data center, it is going to be very costly. Like somebody was talking about Fusion, right? That on-premise Fusion was de-supported and then everything has been moved to cloud. What about the AI services? Can you bring the
Yeah,
AI
here is
service?
some challenge, man. It's not, I will
Right.
technically, this technical point of view, I would not say it's challenge, but it's like
Yeah.
they're forcing you to use the Oracle cloud, not the on-premise, I mean, something like this.
Yeah,
So here we
because
stuck. Here is the one we stuck little.
yeah, but don't they just think from, say today or tomorrow. Think about the span of 10 years. If you have been moved to cloud now for next 5 years or 10 years, you can see that you can, the innovation, the new adaptability and everything can be done very easily. And for the next 10 years, you can see that, okay, now if you see, Oracle has launched the generative AI services. Everywhere you are seeing the AI. I don't know whether you are following the news. The NVIDIA, was in news, I think from last 2 days. They're, uh, they have developed that AI chip, which has created a wave in the market, and their share was surged from last 2 days. It was in news, right? Around 2 trillion or 2
Okay.
billion, something. So those numbers, were there. So because they have gotten, forecasting that, okay, what is the future is required, where the future is going. They have developed the AI chip, AI based chips and processors and everything. And yes, they are in the market now. Right. So
So
that
in
is
this
where
all,
now
yeah.
automation, you might have seen that, okay, Google and everybody has laid off so many people. Okay. And they are saying that it is because of the automation. Okay.
Hmm.
That is true. To some extent, it is because of the automation. All your traditional works and everything has been done. Now let me know, you are basically from system background, right? System engineering.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
true.
correct?
That's true.
Right. So you are managing your operating system and everything, right? From last so many years
Exactly.
on premise, right?
Yeah.
But on the
Yes.
cloud, see how much system admin is required, or how much the OS side is required, right? It has been way optimized for running the software, where the Docker comes into picture, where the containers comes into picture, where you need no maintenance of the operating system, right?
Mhm.
If I say talk about the serverless technology, your script is going to run on the server on the fly and it will get destroyed automatically.
Yeah, I mean, still I believe
Exactly,
that
right?
this is certain layer of things is possible, but
Yeah.
again, this is not totally.
Yeah, totally it is not gone. I will
Yeah, it's
not say
not
that,
going
okay,
to,
but
because
it
this
is
application,
reduced.
Docker's containerization, this all to Kubernetes, this still is not in production with a huge infrastructure
Yeah.
environment. This
Yeah,
is
but
just
it is
like a,
moving that way, right? Moving that way. Like if
yeah,
I say
it's
talk
moving
about
up. Yes, exactly.
in my organization, we are consulting firm. We were having a person who manages the operating system and was a DBA and everything. But now when I ask that, okay, how much operating system activities you do on the cloud? Okay, although he is still there, his more focus is on the database management. Okay, and doing that, but nothing on the operating system side. Okay,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
that is
Yes.
well optimized, right? So
Mhm.
that is how the things are changing. So you need to adapt to the new things and move on. Okay, and
Yes,
that is
true.
where I am coming from. If I see a bigger picture, AI is coming, automation is coming, machine learning is coming, where you are just like, I am from the supply chain industry. Okay, my company is basically a supply chain consulting. There also everything, like we are using chatbots for loading the data. No human
Mm.
intervention is required, and it is basically doing the task. Like we take 6 days to load the data for all the regions and for all the business orgs and everything. It is basically doing in a day.
Yeah, that's good.
correct? So that kind of automation is there. Chatbots are coming. My company has developed some innovative product which is enhancing the SaaS environment, and that is where Oracle has adapted our product and they are selling it too for us.
Yeah, that's what I could do is very smart way.
Right. Yeah. So that is where the things are coming. So, from the traditional, because this all requires infrastructure. And if that is not, a cloud was not there, we would have never developed our product.
So
Okay,
you
that
mean to
idea
say the
was
best
not there.
practice is to on-premise cloud kind of stuff is for cost-wise and security-wise
Yeah.
is
So
use
basically,
on-premise, use
from an
as a SaaS, right? You mean?
from an organization point of view, I will say that, okay, reduce the capital expenses and move to the operational expenses. Make sure that,
Okay.
okay, how you are going to do that way. So that is where I will
Okay.
say that, okay, cloud.
Later, I will just get more
Oh, for
understand
sure.
about
Yeah.
on-premise cloud, because everybody is saying
Exactly.
on-premise cloud, but it's not exactly on-premise cloud. This is cloud,
Yeah.
you know,
You will
and
be
then you
able
are
to
already
understand it
exposed.
more.
So
You
yeah,
will be able to understand it better when we are going
yeah.
to see, the cloud at customer in more
Because if
detail.
for me, if somebody asks me that about what is different between cloud and on-premise cloud, is very easy to explain, but still
Yeah.
on-premise cloud is will have its little bit tricky part,
Yeah.
that
We will
how to
see it.
explain. Yeah.
Okay. Let me, in the coming session, I will log in for the session from that laptop itself, because that is where it is restricted. And I will show you, how it looks like.
Great. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so here you are going to see all the services of the Oracle Cloud which are available. Okay, so you can see here compute, storage, networking, databases, and then something on the analytics side, some developer services. This is an identity and access management services and the security layer. This is for the monitoring. So these are like all the services, but apart from that, there are various other services which are also there under this, like the disaster recovery for the migration. Then for managing, because on the cloud side, the important thing is how you manage the cost on the cloud, how you can optimize your cost. Okay, so that is another thing, like we have got, and we are using some PaaS services from Monday to Friday. People are using it round the clock, but not over the weekend. But when we are keeping it up, we are paying it for the weekend as well. So we have scheduled that, we have automated that. Over the weekend it will automatically get it down on Saturday morning, and then it will again come back on the Sunday evening. So we are again optimizing the cost for those 2 days, because we are not using it, we are not paying it. Okay, so for few things, yes, you need to plan it, and you can definitely can optimize the cost. So all those things you can keep monitoring on
What
your
about for
cost.
our
And
labs? I mean, we have to pay for the billing cost. I mean,
for
if
the
we do the
labs, yes,
labs.
no, for the labs, yes, Oracle is going to give you the free account in which you can just log in, create your account on your own name, and log
Okay.
in there, and you can use the services for 1 month. So you will be getting $300 of credit, which you can
Okay.
consume it in 1 month. Okay,
So
so
within
that is where,
okay, if 1 month, okay.
yeah, 1 month, and then few services you can use it further as well. Okay, but say if you want to use, we will see that, okay, what all you can use
Okay.
there. Okay, so I
Because
will show
I
you
have
that.
very bad experience with Azure actually. So that's why I'm just
Oh,
worried about,
no,
I
no, no, no,
paid
no.
like anything for 2 3
Early,
months. I didn't recognize.
oh,
Even they
yeah,
said
yeah, yeah,
if you power off the instance, it will be no charge, but this was charges will be there.
yeah. I
Because
will
back end there was
explain
some
you that,
service was
okay,
running
how
like
that is going to be, there. I will show you everything. So don't worry on that part. Okay, we will come to that part.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. So this is how your cloud looks. Okay. Now let's further understand few more concepts on the cloud. Okay. Let's move ahead. Okay. Now these are like few of the characteristics which of the cloud that you will be getting the on-demand services. It is all going to be the self-service. You don't require a human intervention or anything there. Just go it from the console. Okay. So yeah, just if I say want to run one compute machine, okay, I just have to go here and just say what you need. Okay, I will be just selecting this. I can go ahead and create the instance. You can just select it. Okay. So you can see now your Oracle Linux 8 machine is there, 1 core, 16 GB is there. You can, if you want to increase it, you can increase. These are like all the things which are available. Okay, say I want to go ahead with 22 OCPUs. Okay, 22 CPU machine. Okay. So right now, if I just go ahead and do that with 350 GB of memory, okay, it is giving whatever. If I need more CPUs, I can keep it more. If I need, say, more memory, I can go ahead and increase memory further. Okay, just need to slide it. And I can just go ahead and create this. So this is basically within, say, 5 minutes or so, this is going to provision everything for me, and I will be ready to use this machine. Okay, but just think in that way, that how, if you want this kind of machine in your on-premise, how much time it is going to take. Okay, so this is, I don't require anybody here to provision it. Once it is provisioned, then I might need somebody else, to maintain the operating system for some time, to optimize it depending on what application I am running, and maybe some other kind of setup I need it. And then on the security patching and everything. So that part where I might need somebody from my side. Okay, nothing from any other vendor I need it. I don't have to hire anyone. I can simply go ahead and create this machine and can say that, okay, whatever it is, just go ahead and create this. So this is going to create one machine, say the Linux machine, which you are having it on premise as well, the similar kind, but you are getting it here within 5 minutes, and say after 2 days or 3 days or 1 month or 2 months, you are done with that. Okay, you have provisioned it for some POCs related stuff, and now that is done. Go ahead and destroy that machine. So you will not be charged for that. So you can see that, okay, this is going to give you ease with whatever in future you want to go ahead, you want to adapt new technology and all, you can do a POC quickly and then move ahead. So that is where it is going to help. So that is where you don't require any human intervention. It is all going to be provisioned there. Then you can access it from anywhere. Okay, and even you can restrict access to the security aspect. You can set it up. Resource pooling. Okay, now the thing is, okay, this is, say, on the public cloud. Usually whenever, say, you and me, we both have got created our login in the Ashburn data center. You are also creating one machine. I am also creating one machine. Okay, our both machine, the base hardware might be same. Okay, like our both virtual machines will be running on the same machine, just nearby, in, say, one machine which is going to use the same base hardware. Okay, but at the same time, it is completely isolated as well. Means I will not be knowing that what is running near to me. It is completely isolated as well. So that is how your data centers are designed. The complete isolation is provided, even though it is going to use the same hardware. So that is another, say, one of the requirement where it comes that, okay, you need to have a private data centers on the cloud. Okay, because this is where that you cannot run on the hardware which is shareable to others. So that is basically what happens in the public cloud. But say if you are in the private cloud, it is all going to be yours only. So you can use that. Even in public cloud also, Oracle provides certain level of services where you are going to own the hardware and run your complete machines there. Okay, we will see those services in our compute part. Okay, so that is also possible. But yes, the main here is the resource pooling, and that is how the cost get reduced in the public cloud. Now rapid elasticity. Now tomorrow I want something for the scaling, for increasing, right? My load is suddenly get hiked up, maybe because say I'm running an e-commerce website which is hosted in the cloud. Now over the Thanksgiving or over the Diwali sale or something, number of users will be high. Okay, so I need more hardware, more horsepower for my servers. So I can go ahead and provision that. I can go ahead and add it. And then after the sale is done, maybe after a week's time or so, I need to again come back to my original position. Okay, how much my base was. So that is where the elasticity comes into picture for the cloud, which you cannot do it on the on-premise. Okay, on-premise means you have to add more CPUs. Add more CPUs means you have to purchase it, you have to own it. What will happen to those CPUs after your task is achieved? You don't need that. You cannot go ahead and reduce it, right? So that is where the elasticity. So that elasticity is one of the important aspect of the cloud. And then yes, the managed services, whatever you are using it, measured services, whatever you are using it, you are going to pay for that. So some of the benefits of the cloud, we have discussed it. The high scalability, more flexibility, infrastructure cost get reduced. Security, yes, you will be having you can have a very high level of security setup and everything there. You can set the multi-factor authentication. You can integrate it with the SAML based applications for your security. You can encrypt your data with the logics, mask your data. So all those aspects are available. Then backup and disaster recovery. There are a lot of options for backing up your data and keeping your data redundant as well. So those aspects are there. You can get it easily. And yes, no location constraint for accessing it. So that is another aspect. Right. So this is where we have already seen that there. But yes, few of the points here which I would like to go through it, because this is very helpful when you are say designing your application. Okay, say your organization like recently. Okay, let me share my experience. So one of our customer, we have got one of the product which is basically a WebLogic and the database based product. Now we have deployed that for say 6 or 7 customers, but this one customer is basically an enterprise level customer. So they have, when we have proposed the architecture, they have seen the architecture and everything. Okay, but they have mentioned that for our compliance, we need to have an high availability and we also need to have a disaster recovery. So then we have added in our application one more node of say WebLogic and one more node of say database. So database, we basically propose the RAG database. And for the DR, they have mentioned that okay, as of now, say we don't want to go with the full DR, okay, because that is going to cost more. So what we can do is, if you can give us the pilot DR services, okay, not exactly the same size hardware on the secondary side, but at least just a minimal hardware which is required so that we can have the connectivity for running the jobs and everything, whatever the business processes they want to run. So they were okay with that. They don't want to have a complete full DR services setup. So we have designed the solution and we have given them the pilot DR setup. So that is where it got compliant as well, and they have got high availability options too. So high availability is something where the continuous performance should be there for your business process, and that too in the acceptable range. So maybe the example which I was giving, that during the sales season my number of users are high. So in that case, what I want to have is, I want to have another node where I'm going to run the services. In case my node once goes down, I have another node where the business continuity is there. So what this basically says, okay, you are going to add the redundant hardware. So tell me one thing, what is an high availability option for the database? What do you think?
On the primary, on the secondary.
No, I'm talking about the high availability, not
Is
about the
it
DR.
rack?
You can go rack or can go data
Exactly.
guard.
Right. So rack is basically the solution for the high availability of the database. Okay. So you have got, say, multiple nodes of databases which is running, but they are all doing the same job. Like when you are running it, it might be sharing the load. It can be either node 1, it can be either node 2. And even if one node is down, maybe some hardware issue or something is there, still you have the connectivity with, say, another node. So that is where the high availability comes into picture. Same for the database, you have got options for the application side as well. Okay, there can be multiple options there. Okay, but yes, again, it can be an active high availability or passive high availability based on that. Okay, maybe all the nodes are not contributing to the load, but it will be becoming active when the particular node is down. So that is how it is going to give the high availability as well. So that is another bifurcation of the high availability, active and passive. But yeah, it is basically the requirement when you are designing your application. Okay, I will share some of the architecture which which are similar to that, relevant to that. Okay, so yeah, as I mentioned that, okay, there are some go live is progress, so people are having a meeting, but yeah, I'm not going to join that meeting. Okay, so that is an high availability. Now let's talk about the disaster recovery. What do you understand by disaster recovery? So disaster recovery is when your primary is down, your secondary should be available. Okay, now that is where you can have certain number of SLAs there, or maybe you can define that, okay, for how much time your business can be there. Like suppose my primary and my secondary is there. Okay, now on the primary data center side, there is a hurricane. Okay, so my data center and everything, or say power or all those is shut down. Okay, now as soon as it shut down, there will be some point where the data and everything was, your jobs were running and it has done certain level of activities, and that is where it got shut down. So till that time, you want to recover your data, means you don't want to have a data loss. Nobody wants to have a data loss, right? So till that point, you want to recover. That is known as the recovery point objective, RPO. Okay, and till that point, how much time you are going to take it to bring the instance back? Okay, say maybe if I'm running the say your standby database, okay, how much is the delay between that? Maybe say a 5 minutes of delay. Well, I have scheduled it. In that 5 minutes, something happens, so those data I might not be able to recover it because that is not yet reached to my standby. So that is the acceptable range where I can say that, okay, this is where my data loss might be there, and to recover everything and to configure the application and bring it back, that might take say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or maybe say 30 minutes, depending on your business requirement. You can define those things and can design your application. So that is known as a recovery time objective, and how much time you will be able to recover it. Okay, and amount of data which you can afford to lose is basically the recovery point objective, that okay, till this point I want to recover the data. After that, transactions, whatever has happened, that is fine. that loss I can bear it, but this is where till that point. So that is, so RTO and RPO, these are basically two important aspects of disaster recovery. Okay, so you are going to design that, and in case of cloud, this is becoming more prominent. Okay, what will happen? Because you might have heard the news recently, Azure data center was having some issue. Some of the data center, Ashburn data center of Oracle was having an issue last week. It was all down. Okay, there was some issue on the connectivity side, some identity and access related management issues were there for some time. So that was not in place. So that is where these things are. You need to consider, you need to plan right from the beginning that, okay, how I'm going to design. And this is going to be one of your important interview question as well, that, okay, you have got everything on premise and now you want to move that to cloud. How you are going to design your databases, how you are going to design your application, so that it should have a high availability, it should have a DR. So that all comes under the design aspect. Okay, even for the networking also, you need to see that, okay, this is my primary, this is my secondary, how I'm going to manage that. And then when you are planning for the disaster recovery, say primary and the secondary, two different data centers will be there. Okay, how my application switching will be done so that my end user URLs are not changed. You are not going to say that, okay, this is your primary, this is your secondary URL. No, right? When it is done, then you need to plan some sort of, say, DNS services so that, it will automatically get resolved to the secondary. So those kind of designing is needed. So HA and DR are important from the design aspect. So I'm going to share in our next session. Initially I'm going to share one architecture which is going to show you that, okay, how the DR and the high availability part is designed. That is, what we have done it in our recent project. I'm going to share that architecture, okay, and show you that, okay, how that is designed. Okay, I just need to do some sort of cleaning in that, but yes, I'll do that and show it before our say next session. When we are going to start our session, I'm going to share that. We'll discuss that, and then we'll move to the IAM topic.
All right, sir. So that would that include the fault domains and all that?
For fault domains and all, yes, that is going to be part
That
of the
will
design.
include it. Okay.
Oh, yes. That is basically used.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You have linked it. So that is how you are going to use those, concept of cloud to implement the HA and DR.
Okay.
Okay, we are, going to come to that very soon.
All right. All right, sir.
Okay, the next aspect is the fault tolerance. Okay, how your system is able to deliver the continuous operation when one of the component is failed. Like I am running 10 servers for managing the load. So that also covers my high availability, right? But what will happen in case if one server is down, it should still give me the same connectivity. So that is where your fault tolerance comes into picture, and that is where you are, say, the best example is the load balancer. You are going to give the end user URL, okay, that will be of the load balancer. Now at the back end, you have got 10 servers attached. Out of that 10, one server has got some hardware issue, and that is not working, that is not functional, but still 9 are there to bear the load, and your user are not even experiencing that. It is transparent to them. They can't see that. So they are still seeing that, okay, my application is working and it is all going to serve the purpose. So how much your application is fault tolerant. So that is another aspect of the design when you are say designing an architecture. Okay, so we can take that use case. Maybe you can also plan it from your end that, okay, you are having say application server, say WebLogic, and you have a database which is running. How you are planning for the fault tolerance, for your high availability, for your disaster recovery. Okay, think through it, make a box there. Okay, yeah, this is there, this is there. Forget about that you are not aware of the cloud, actual cloud concept as of now. But yeah, these are the generic concept which are also applicable in cloud. How it is going to be in cloud, we are going to see that. Okay, next is elasticity. So elasticity is something that when my load is getting increased, it should scale up automatically or maybe manually. Okay, and when my load is down, it should again come back to the same level. So that is again, I need to design my application that way. Okay, so elasticity is like a rubber band. You are stretching it to accommodate certain objects to go through it. And then once it is done, then when you are leaving that, it should again come back to the same position. Okay, so your various fluctuations, load fluctuations, maybe some power fluctuations which might be there. So you need to plan to add more, or maybe more number of users are there. Okay, some jobs are running which has gone increase. Somebody has submitted say 20 jobs. Earlier he used to submit 2 jobs, right? So he has submitted 20 jobs. Because of that, more number of CPU usage is there, but other users might be facing some slowness or something, they're stuck there. They might not be facing the same thing, same speed. So in that case, when your CPU usage is say reaching 80%, it should automatically spawn another application. And when it is say below 40%, again, it should again come back to the normal position, one node. So that is where the elasticity comes into picture. Now tell me one thing. The another aspect is scalability. What does the scalability means? So scalability is you are going to add more horsepower to the system. Okay, which can be either you are say empowering your existing application, so you are scaling it up. Say today I am having 4 CPUs on that, tomorrow I'm going to add 4 more, so 8, then I'm going to go to 16. The same hardware, I'm going to just increase it. And scale out is I'm just going to add more number of same instances. Say today I'm having a 4 and load is getting increased. Another 4 CPU server I am adding it. Tomorrow again 4 CPU server I am adding it. So that is where the scale out comes. So that is known as the so horizontal scaling and the vertical scaling. So horizontal scaling is basically you are adding more number of same kind of machine, and vertical scaling is you are making the current server more powerful. Okay, both has got some aspects. Okay, like if you are adding more number of servers to the same machine, more number of resources to the same machine, it is becoming powerful, but at the same time it is not serving the fault tolerance. Tomorrow if that server has got some issue, then your entire application will go down. But in case of scale out, say horizontal scaling, if in case you are adding it more number of parallel servers, in case if one is not say is not working fine, still you have got servers to add. So scalability is something which is even linked with the fault tolerance. Now tell me one thing, what do you understand with the difference in the scalability and elasticity? Any thoughts?
I mean, scalability means like hardware resources. Elastic means like for app size, I mean, from the application perspective.
Yeah, Means, what do you understand? Say if I'm talking about, say, elasticity, and I'm talking about the scalability. Okay, so scalability is also like you are increasing it. You're scaling your
Yeah,
server, right? And elasticity also gives you the same thing. In case of my, say, fluctuation is there or load is high, then it should, increase the server automatically, or maybe manually, whatever it is.
I mean, like what I understood, the scalability point of view, that you are adding the resources from the, I mean, either scale up or scale out. But elasticity means like you are managing the uh, having the resources, which heavy resources only,
Hmm.
right? I mean, I don't know exactly.
Okay. Anybody else want to contribute something?
It's just a cloud alternative. Elasticity is a cloud alternative for scalability.
Okay. So, let me, take this way. So usually the scalability is something where you are increasing the capacity to meet your, workload,
Requirement,
whatever your
yes. Yeah.
workload is increasing, that is there. But when it comes to elasticity, it is, one aspect, it follows the scalability only, whatever it is, the increasing workload. But when the workload is normal, it will again reduce it as well. Scalability, usually you will not be reducing it. Scalability means you are always increasing it, right? Elasticity is it should again come back. That is where the elastic feature comes. So it is
And then those,
increasing
though
or
both
reducing.
functionality is possible in the cloud, right?
Sorry, yeah, both is possible in the cloud. Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Now scalability is something where you are going to add more servers to meet the future demand. Okay. And elasticity is something which you are going to deal with your current problem, current situation, right? Means right now my server
Can
is
you
not able.
more elaborate about in real-time scenario?
Right. So scalability is something, say I am having, say again, come to the e-commerce website. Okay, today my business is there, then I'm doing some sort of, say, marketing, heavy marketing, I did it. Now my traffic on the server is high. Okay, which is, say, going to, earlier my users were, say, 1 lakh per month. The, users were there. Now that has been increased to 5 lakh per month because of the marketing. In that
On
case,
some
I
certain
need,
situation or just for the regular
no, just
basis?
situation. No, I did the marketing. Now that is my constant one.
Okay, 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 okay.
So in that case, I'm going to, plan to scale my server, right?
Scale. Oh, yes.
So I'm going to scale it up. But say the
Okay,
same situation, now I am at 5 lakhs per month. I have optimized my, hardware and scale it up as well. Now,
okay.
after that, there is a festival sale, which is there. I put it. So that festival sale, where I am seeing that my per month traffic, which was there 5 lakhs, earlier it was 1 lakh, then I have scaled it up for 5 lakhs. Now it has reached to 10 lakhs, but that is only for 1 month. So in that 1 month, when the traffic is increasing, depending on that increased load, automatically I am going to, plan that way, that only for that month, my server should be doubled. And as soon as the sales is done, again, that should come back to the 5 lakh per month, that architecture. So that is where this elasticity comes into picture. You are
Right.
dealing with the current situation, and
Okay,
scalability is you are dealing with the future plan. Okay, like you
okay.
have increased it. Now you are not going below 5 lakhs. Okay, you are still going to increase it maybe for another 1 year or 2 years. Your per month is going to be on an average 5 lakhs. Okay, maybe after 2 years you might to again, scale up, your servers, because of your businesses are now getting more increased. So you know about this Thanksgiving sale at Amazon?
Yeah, there is lots of,
Yeah.
I mean, Black Friday, these all the stuff.
Black Friday sale. So
Yeah.
Amazon servers, they are so robust. So, initially when you do on your Amazon, okay, they might be using some 30 servers or so, but during the Black Friday, their server capacity get increased. So they are adding 90 to 95 nodes. And that data I'm sharing it, uh, around say 5-6 years back. So automatically their server gets scaled up to, in parallel 90 node, because at that point of time, there was an group. I don't know whether you have heard that news or not. Most of the people, they try to create number of connections to bring the Amazon services down.
Oh.
Okay, because so that can hamper their business or so. So many people, many groups have tried that even during the testing also, but it was very difficult because they have done such kind of setting that their scalability is not getting reduced. If such kind of thing is there, they have added more servers and that they are able to sustain. I haven't heard, from years together that during the Black Friday, the site was down. Never.
Mhm.
So they have scaled up their hardware in such a way that all these parallel nodes comes into picture. Even I think earlier there's something Yahoo architecture, Yahoo Mail or Yahoo, I know that is no more in business much now, but that has been acquired. But Yahoo is using around 32 to 64 parallel nodes for all their emails, because at that one point of time it was very popular. So they were using around 32 to 64 parallel rack nodes there for maintaining and managing their entire say the mails and everything and their services.
So within Oracle Cloud, both functionality is by default available, or you have to choose which one you want?
No, they are available. You need to design your application in that way.
Okay.
So that is all the designing thing, and that is where the solution architect role comes into picture. So when say you are, most of the time you will see that, okay, you are needing a solution architect. Okay, so solution architect is a person who is going to design it and also basically knowing all the aspects of the cloud. Okay, not necessary that the solution architect is going to execute it, but they will be having all the knowledge about it. And to come to that solution architect level, you need to do some kind of hands-on as well, that okay, you should know that okay, how things are. So these are like all the designing aspect, and when it comes to the
Okay.
interview, they will definitely grill you on these things, how you will make sure that my system is elastic. They will give you different scenarios, but your questions, your answer lies around all these things: the HA, DR, scalability, your elasticity, and all those things. And we are going to see that in our all hands-on exercises. I will show you that okay, how the elasticity aspect comes, how you can plan for the DR, how you can plan for the HA. Okay,
Perfect.
so you can think about that. I'm going to give you the scenario, okay, maybe towards the end of the session. You can just think on that and come up with your solution. We can discuss that. Okay,
Okay.
not
Be great.
just I will love to see all the boxes or something which you have made it. Nothing fancy there, but how you are going to design it, how you can use all these concepts.
Be great.
Okay, right. So this is where, yeah, we have already seen that, but yes. Okay, another important cloud concept, and after this we are going to take a short break as well. Okay, so another important cloud concept is capex and opex, which you are going to deal with it when you are dealing with your leaderships. So they are the one who are more worried on these aspects, or they will more not worried, but they will be dealing with these aspects, that okay, what is the capital expenses and what is an operational expenses. When the cloud comes, it is more of an operational expenses, pay as you go model. And that is where your entire finance leadership or everyone will be happy. All your account managers will be happy that okay, yes, it is only the operational cost. Even if you want to say get a machine, say the in your organization you want to have one compute machine, it takes a lot of time. Okay, maybe, this is a very good example. Earlier, we used to, buy computers, right? That a tower is going to be there, the CPU machine, and then the monitor and all those things, right? Now, when the say a laptop comes, then we are going to move to the laptop. But still, have someone configured that at home, like your own lab or something? Say getting two servers at home and prepare the rack instance, the shared storage and all. Have anybody done that somewhere, like out of curiosity or something, right? Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
So how difficult it is to configure the shared storage, right, at home when you have two servers. I did that. Okay, I don't know how much of research I did it, and I got that shared storage cable which is going to use some different ports for making that storage connected to the two servers. And when it comes to the rack, then we need to make sure that okay, that the changes whatever we are doing it and the connectivity is going to be there. Most of the time my one of the node gets corrupt or get halt or get shut down because the storage connectivity is an issue.
Correct.
See, doing it on the virtual machine VMware is another aspect. Okay, but physically doing it with two servers is altogether another aspect. So that is where, so now we used to perform those things at home and everything. So a lot of things we have to own it. Now today, if I want to go ahead and make a rack machine, I will be just going to Oracle Cloud, and with the click of a button, I will get a rack instance ready. I don't have to go do anything there. Okay, just to let you know,
That makes life easy.
Oracle Cloud is basically, is the only cloud where you are going to have the certified rack. Other clouds are providing rack instances with the flash grid and all other things, but they are not certified. So whenever say you want to go with a rack instance, then it is only certified on Oracle Cloud. Okay, still I see that various customers are running rack using the flash grid and all. I have got two customers, but I have seen the pain when it comes to an issue and when they are going to reach Oracle support. Oracle clearly says that, okay, you are running it on flash grid. Can you simulate it on the Oracle certified rack and show it to us? And that is where nobody can do anything. Right. So one of the unique selling point of Oracle is rack, and another unique selling point is Exadata. Exadata is all Oracle's proprietary purpose-built machine for the databases. And that is where Oracle is giving. And that is, you can see now that, okay, the Azure tie-up is there. Now, all the things we are, also providing it from the Azure side as well. So that hybrid connectivity, multi-cloud, basically, that is what has been highlighted. The multi-cloud connectivity is in place. Right. So right. So let's, take a break here. But before that, let me, just ask that, okay, how are things going? Is it all going fine? Are you okay with the approach and, the discussion, how we are doing it? All good? Okay, I know
Yeah,
this is
it's
all
good.
high level concept, okay, as of now. But
Mhm.
believe me, when we come to the actual Oracle Cloud and all, it will be more interactive and you are going to see more, my cloud screen, not only the presentation side.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That is where we are going to, perform some hands-on. You are also going to perform some hands-on the exercises and, come up with that. Okay. And I will let you know when you need to create an account and everything and start practicing there. So just hold for some time. Let's get ready with the initial concept, and then you can, just create an account, and I can help you with that as well. In parallel, my team can help.
All right, sir.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. How many minutes break?
Yeah,
Let's have a 10 minutes break.
Okay.
Okay.
15
And
minutes, please.
Yeah. And let me just do one more thing. Let me start the timer.
Can we take 15 minutes, please?
Okay, let's take it 12 minutes.
No, because I have to go downstairs and come back like this. That's why.
You missed 3
Oh,
minutes,
okay.
don't worry.
3 minutes, miss. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Rush.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks. I'm just keeping myself on mute. Okay. Yeah, I think I stopped the sharing. Okay. So welcome back. So I think, when you are in your organization, usually, talk about the cloud service providers and all. Now there are big players, Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud and all. So we usually do the comparison with the peers using the Magic Quadrant of Gartner's. That is one of the most trusted and well industry accepted report for various cloud providers. So we can see that, okay, various cloud providers, some are acquired as well, and some are going, having a very limited kind of, functionality or services there. But if we see on the bigger scale, or say the mega scale vendor, then you will be seeing this is still, I will say that IBM cloud is not, that common. Alibaba Cloud, yes, it is going on, but to be very much frank, I haven't seen anyone in my contact or someone who is extensively using the Alibaba Cloud. But yes, Oracle, Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud, these are basically the 4 top vendors, I will say, where you are going to see. But apart from that, there are other cloud vendors as well. Okay, some are basically uh, have started their cloud journey, but have exited because of various reasons. Some are acquired, some are only having few of the services, very niche area services there. Okay, but how you are going to compare it now? Here, this is the latest one, which was in December 2023, and Oracle basically has been recognized as a leader for the Gartner Magic Quadrant for the platform services, cloud services. And this is where the quadrant. So you are going to see the leaders, challengers, niche player, and visionaries. Okay. And this is where your Oracle stands under the quadrant 1. And if you see from last 3 quarters, Oracle is doing, phenomenal. All their expected revenues and everything is, increasing, even sometime beyond the expectation as well. And Oracle is basically the cloud vendor which has got IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS services, all 3 services well developed one. Okay, like if we say talk about the Amazon Web Services, you are only seeing the infrastructure side services, okay, which are there, or maybe some of the PaaS services are there, but you are not seeing any SaaS service offering from Amazon. The same with Azure and Google as well. But when it comes to Oracle, you are seeing all the 3 areas where they have got a vast portfolios available. Okay, we are going to see that in some time, all the services. But yeah, let's talk about the service model. So on the cloud, when it comes, 2 things you need to understand. One is the cloud service model, and another is the cloud deployment model. Okay, and believe me, most of the people are not, having a clarity on the service model. Okay, and at the same time on the deployment model as well, like they are always, having some sort of confusion between the hybrid cloud, multi-cloud, and all those. So this is our traditional model, service model, which was there. where we were managing the entire stack, right from the networking, then storage, virtualization, whatever it is, like VMware and all those things, operating system, then middleware, then their runtimes, their database, and above that your data and application, whatever it is. These were all managed by us in the sense a company is going to own it, and then a team is going to be there to manage everything. Then there time comes that okay, like say that I will say that okay, the AWS, which has started their cloud services pretty early, I think in 2006 or so. There, what they have done is they have owned the infrastructure layer, the base infrastructure layer, like your networking, storage, and virtualization. They were all managing it, and over and above that, whatever you are going to keep it, that is all will be your, like you can have your own operating system. Then over that you are going to install the middleware and then the database application and all those things. But the base infrastructure is not yours. That is owned by some vendor. So that is known as an infrastructure as a service. Okay, where the company is providing the infrastructure. So when I say come to our Oracle Cloud here and say I want to come to the networking and say create some network here. Okay, so demo VCN. Okay, as of now, don't worry about all these things. Okay, and I just say create it. You can see all the networking services has been created now. Okay, and then you can even view it here. But yeah, if you want, I can show you the actual visualization as well, which is going to give you a diagrammatic view of what we have created. Yeah. So this is what we have created, the demo VCN. And if I say I go to the more detailed visualization. So I have got two subnets created in that, which is got a security list. I can open the ports and everything. And these are some of the network components. So this is what I have created. Okay, now this is all going to be and comes under the infrastructure services. Okay, I can go now and say that, okay, I want to create the machine here. I can go ahead and create the machine. As I was telling that, okay, the operating system side. So this is where I can go ahead and change and say that, okay, whether I want a Windows operating system or whether I want a Red Hat or I want a CentOS, Ubuntu, which one I want it. I can go ahead and select that. Okay, so this is where selecting it. Now, how many CPUs and all those is needed, I can select it from here. So that means I am creating a machine which is say going to be running on some virtualization layer and all the base thing has been maintained by Oracle. So this is what is controlled and maintained by a vendor, and I am taking care of all these things. So that is known as basically the infrastructure as a service. Okay, now whatever you want to deploy it on that machines, you can deploy. but you are going to manage all those things. But you are not going to manage the underlying hardware. Right. Now, next comes is the platform as a service. What do you understand by that? What do you understand by platform as a service?
The vendor manages every resource from the database down, as in. So we only get to manage the database, data, and application, while the vendor manages every other thing from the runtime up to the network. That's my understanding.
Okay, so yeah, that is basically the correct one, but most of the confusion, is under the platform as a service only. Okay, now I would like to just, take one example like Oracle databases, which is there in the cloud. Okay, that is the classic example of platform as a service, where right now, say you all are, mostly DBAs, so you are installing the software. Okay, first say you are having a machine, then you are setting up your OS, then you are installing using the run installer, and then you are over and above that, you are creating the database, and then you are going to load the data in that and integrate the application. This is say a high level flow, right? When you are dealing with the databases, right?
Yeah.
Now, till the installation part of the database. Okay, and when you are say creating the database, you need to give that, okay, what is the character set, and all those things you are going to give it. Okay, so till the software of that database, that is all owned by Oracle in cloud. So say today I need a 19C database. Okay, I will go ahead and select the 19C database. There will be an image which is having a 19C version that you are going to select it, and Oracle is going to put that image there. Okay, we'll do that. Now you need to create a database in that. Okay, you can go ahead and create a pluggable database, CDB container database, and the pluggable database in 19C. And then once it is all there, then what data you want to load it, you can load it. Which application you want to integrate it, you integrate it. Okay, but you are not going to do the basic, excuse me, the basic installation.
Okay.
Okay, you are not going to do that. That is all Oracle stuff.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Okay, so that is where what it is basically, Oracle is giving you the platform where you can just have that software and everything installed, and then start loading your data and start integrating your application. So that is where it is known as the platform as a service. Now, most of the services which Oracle gives here, okay, let me close this. Yeah, so this is basically comes under the infrastructure as a service. But say when I go to database here, okay, there is a vast range of databases available, but I will be going with what you have done it in your on-premise, okay, till now. Let's go with that. Okay, now this is where you can see the create the database system. Okay, so when you go ahead here, okay, you are still selecting that your region and all those things. I will explain you all this in a while. Okay, now here you can see the grid infrastructure. Grid infrastructure means your Oracle binaries. Okay, which one you want it and how you want it. You can decide the storage and all. Okay, and then here it comes what you want. You want to have a single node database or you want to have a rack database. So you select that. Okay, this is still your binary information you are giving it. Okay, say I use the keys and all. Okay, I'm just selecting this so that I can move ahead. Select your license part here, networking part. Okay, in which your database needs to have an IP address, right? So you need to give that. And then when you move next, okay, I need to give something. When you move that, now here it is going to ask you the database detail. All the database detail, which database you wanted, say 19, say 23, 21 is there. Even if I want to select some more actual versions, I can select that. So you can see here 22, 21, 20, and 19. 19C database, which is a most commonly used one. So these are the patch set versions which are available. I can select anything out of that. Okay. And then I select that and give the sys password and everything there. And here is like, if you want to create a container database only, you can create that. That is going to be done. And if you want to create any one of the pluggable database right now, you can just give some name. Okay. And once this is all done, all the backup information, it is going to ask that, okay, how you want it. But in case if you don't want, you can select this. You can configure that later as well. And just create a DB system. Now this is what your database is going to be there. Means in 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, your database is going to be up and running with whatever version you wanted.
So we do this.
Yeah, we do this.
Okay.
And this is where the platform is given, the binaries are given. This is just the provisioning. So, the main installation which you were doing it earlier, now that has been renamed as provisioning. You just have to provision the database.
Makes sense. So when you provision a database that is already running, what happens when you need to do an upgrade? You will have to do it as well if it's platform as a service.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Platform as a service, we have to do it. Oracle is going to give you everything. Okay. But it is not going to be that. Yeah, it is not going to be that traditional patching using the O patch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Makes sense.
It is going to be from the console itself. Okay. Or maybe from the command line, you can do it, but not exactly the O patch.
Okay.
Okay. So that is how Oracle has bundled it. Oracle is going to give you all the quarterly patches and everything. Now it depends upon like when you plan to have your business downtime and all, and then you can go ahead and apply that.
Okay. Makes sense. Thanks.
Okay. So that is where the platform is given, control is with us. And the best part is, when you see the Oracle databases, which is running on another cloud platform, you don't have the backend access. In this Oracle, when you are running the databases and all, you are going to have the root level of access for the backend. Okay. But again, you are not supposed to change drastically, all the binaries and anything any OS level patching you want to do it. You are not supposed to do that because that is going to disturb the cloud setup for the database. So there is a different, approach for maintaining the database on the cloud. Although you have a root level of access, but still it is not, advisable to do the things how you are maintaining the database traditionally. So that is where, because sometime what happens is you might need to run some script, some job or anything on the database side. Like in my case, our products, we are running, some of the Python scripts or shell scripts or anything that we need to schedule it and run it on the database server. So it makes our life bit easier if you have the backend access of the database, so you can run some jobs and customize some of the customized jobs directly. Okay, as you were doing it on premise, on the server itself, a similar kind of experience you can get it on the cloud. But when it comes to the management part of the database, it is a combination of Oracle and us.
Okay.
Not all on us. Okay, that what are the SODs there, the segregation of duties and the roles and responsibilities that we are going to see in our database session, that what you are going to maintain, what Oracle is going to maintain.
Okay.
But yes, this is main, like the platform as a service. This is the best example what Oracle gives. But apart from that, this is not just the platform as a service which is there, but there are various other services. Like if you see here, the integration service, Oracle Integration Cloud. Okay, which is basically the platform as a service, which is you are just going to provision it and start using it. Okay, put your data and all using it. Oracle Kubernetes service, OKE. This is nothing but the platform as a service. So Oracle is going to provision your master node and three child nodes, slave nodes will be there. Okay, which is basically going to be provisioned by Oracle, and then you are going to create the pods and other things in that and start using it. So that platform is going to be provided by the cloud vendor, and then over and above that you are going to use it. So that is where the platform as a service comes into picture. Okay, now very typical questions which is you are going to hear when you are in some discussion of your project, from especially from your project managers or developers or someone, that they have got that notion that database service is basically the cloud database service. It is all going to be managed by cloud. When we say that, okay, there is an upgrade there, so Oracle is going to do an upgrade, why you are worried about it? So that is not the case, right? It is us who are going to deal with the upgrade, perform it, give it to the developers to test it, that whether all their applications are running fine or not. And this is what we are doing it. It is not the Oracle's responsibility, it is our responsibility. So that is where the confusion always arises. But apart from that, Oracle has got various services on the database side as well, where the backend is all managed by Oracle. So that we are going to see when we are going to see the complete database portfolio, that what all other services are there and how it is maintained.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Right. Okay.
A quick question.
Yes.
So the versions, it's supported from only 19C, right?
Yeah, as of now, 19C, Oracle has desupported 12C, I think from last year, October, or maybe July or October. Yeah, I don't remember the exact. Yeah, July, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So most of them who are there on 12C, they cannot migrate to cloud.
Yes, that is there. But I know that in few offerings, maybe, the private cloud offering or so, where, they can come to 12C as well. I need to check whether it is there in Exadata or so there. But yes, anyhow, the 12C services is no more, available.
Yeah.
Even Oracle has desupported, only the extended services are there. In case if it is there, then we need to approach to Oracle, and just for your tenancy, they will just give you that if you need to give a strong justification to them that okay, why you are not ready to upgrade.
The reason
then
I'm
they
asking
can support
the platform as a service, right? So database data and application are going to be managed by us. So why that freedom is not there for loading
no,
the
still only thing is the software is what Oracle is going to give it to you, and you will be the one who will be doing the patching, who is going to do the upgrade. Even the OS patches which are there, Oracle is going to release the OS level patches, like right now 7 is going to get the support soon, Linux 7, right? So everything you have to move it to 8. So for that upgrade, Oracle is also going to give you those patches list and all, and then you can upgrade that to Linux 8. Not direct upgrade, but yes, it is all going to be Oracle way only on the cloud, so that you can upgrade it. But still, Oracle database patching, RMAN backups, any kind of troubleshooting which is needed, anybody is having any database issue, performance and all comes under your kitty only. Oracle is not going to do anything on that side.
So
No.
what I'm trying to ask is, even though we are going to manage, we are not allowed to host anything lower than 19.
Yeah, you are not. But if say you want to do anything lower than 19, then the only way on the cloud, Oracle cloud, is create a virtual machine and do it as is, like you are doing it on your but that is where you won't get any cloud features. Okay,
Yeah,
so you will not be feeling that sense of cloud if it is like right on the VMware virtual machines, right?
no, the reason is most of the clients are still in not at migrated to 19C, so
Yeah.
that's the reason, because they are not ready for multi-tenancy, so they're still in lower than 19C.
Yeah,
So
and
you cannot move
right.
on to till that. Okay.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
that is where thing is I think on the Exadata side, cloud at customer Oracle still gives you 12C there, but I need to check that.
Those are huge
Okay.
clients, right? Anybody who's
Sorry?
using Exadata, they have a huge volume.
Yeah,
Those are
huge volume.
small clients, they needed Oracle applications and everything, but they're not using Exadata or Supercluster or anything.
But may I know, like, what basically is the reason why people are not ready for multi-tenancy? Means why that is so?
No, it is just a default, right? Any change, they are not ready.
Yeah, I
Anything,
know.
so that
I
is that.
understand that.
It's not
No, because
understanding how it works, how it
even this customer which I am talking about, the clouded customer, they were also having a same kind of thing. So for EBS, we moved it to cloud with 12C only, and then we were planning to upgrade it to 19C. But they were not saying that, okay, why we have to go to the container database and then have one pluggable database and there. So they said, okay, no, we will not be going with that, and we are going to configure everything in the container database only. Why? Because it is always a single database, so why to go with that? So when we have configured it, okay, even Oracle documentation doesn't say that, okay, you cannot configure everything as a not you cannot configure EBS database as a container database.
Yes.
So we have configured it, but we faced some issue. Then Oracle came into picture and they said that, okay, this is not configured. They have updated their document and they have mentioned that specifically that everybody has to go to the pluggable database.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
I can understand that because, the DBA who is supporting from years together, now that change is there, for each and every command to connect it. First, you need to connect to the container database, then change the container. They are not ready for that.
Yeah, but from the DBA point, I don't think it's really, there's not much. I think it's most times it's application team giving you that downtime, giving, and they don't want that change. From managing the database, there's no much difference, to be fair. It's just a little change when it comes to container databases. But, it's a business decision, really.
Yeah, even recently, we are involved in 2 of the upgrades. The customer is on 12.1.3 Oracle application. And now they are basically, forced to move it on 12.2 because nothing is supported now.
True.
12.1.3 and all, right? So now if they are at this stage, I have seen that, okay, when they are moving it to 12.1.3 to 12.2, there is a complete architecture change.
Yes.
Right, on the EBS side, complete architecture, the web logic is going to come into picture and many other things got changed. So they are not ready for that, but they have to do it, and they have hired DBAs and they are maintaining it and now doing it, and we are upgrading it for them. So Oracle
at some point they will have to.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because I think the minimum, as at some point you have to, because with the new Oracle 23C coming up soon, I think the minimum version you have to be to go to 23 is 19. So at some point, people has to be,
that is how Oracle moves on. Earlier for 11G 11.204 was the minimum version they mentioned, right? Yeah. But say now if you want to move it, so this is the way Oracle works. Like they will say that, okay, the base version should be 19C. Now everybody has to come to that version.
True. Compliance. Yeah, true.
But if you see the overall vision of Oracle, okay, on the application side and the database side, now they are saying that, okay, once you have come to 12.2, then it is all going to be the minor upgrades only. If you have come to 12.2, that means you are done with your major upgrade. No more major upgrades will be there down the line. Now it is all going to be minor upgrades always. So that is where Oracle is bringing all the customers to 12.2, and just 19C is the pluggable database. In future also they are going to continue with that only.
Okay.
So there it comes a broader vision of Oracle. Right. And yeah, the last one, if I say talk about, is basically the I will say that it is a data as a service, but let's keep it simple. The software as a service. So it is exactly going to be, say, your Gmail account. What you are doing in the Gmail account, there are some standard services which Google is providing in Gmail. Now you are going to create your login and start using it. Nothing to do. Whatever information they need it from everyone. So all the standardized application, right? And you are just creating your login and working on the Gmail and sending an email and receiving it, and whatever it is. A small sort of customization, the theme or something will be there, like how you can arrange your inbox and all. Those are there that you can do it. That is a personalization stuff. But as a service, all the things are maintained by Google, and they are just giving the UI where you can just log in and create your ID and start using that interface. So that is known as a software as a service. The classic example from the Oracle world is Fusion applications. Your HCM, supply chain, all these are basically the software as a service. Like your Oracle e-business suite, which you are running it on premise. Okay, that is one of the service, but the same service now Oracle is maintaining the entire architecture, hardware, your maintenance of application and everything, like your patching of the database, patching of an application. All this is taken care by Oracle. And they are just giving that instance, the end user URL, and then you can log in and start loading your data, start configuring it. That's it. No more implementations, nothing. Move it there and load your data. Do the setup, say for the finance, for the supply chain, for your HCM, all these are there, and just start. So maximum standardization is done, but there is a scope of bit of say customization as well, where they can customize it, but not much of the customization. So that is another area where a lot of activities are going on. People are moving from EBS to Fusion, but again there is a notion there that, okay, like if everything is moving to the Fusion and we are basically like what is the role of DBA there? Okay, yes, there is no role of DBA when things are moving to the Fusion SaaS. In the SaaS we don't need anything. Okay, but there is a different role which has been evolved there, because these customers are having a lot of customizations. They have got their source instances, warehouse and everything, which is basically either maintained on the databases or say autonomous warehouse or whatever the databases which they are using it. So they need to have an integration side. So Oracle PaaS services, Oracle Integration Cloud is there, through which they are connecting it and loading the data and everything. So maintaining these PaaS applications is another area where they need a DBA. Like still from last 7 years, there was a buzz that, okay, we don't need a DBA, we don't need a DBA, DBAs are going to be out. But my workload from last 7 years, or say even more, 7 years, because 2016 is where Oracle Cloud has come into picture. 7 years, I never saw that, okay, my workload has got decreased, but it has always got increased. More databases are going to be maintained, not our traditional one, forget about that as of now, but the cloud databases, the Exadata migrations, some of the autonomous database as well, you need to manage it. And now another thing which you have to learn is the Oracle Integration Cloud, at least the administration part, how you are going to maintain that, what are the things, the user roles and everything, how you are going to plan for the disaster recovery for all these components. There was a very exciting project which came, I think 2 months back, where we have, start involving our entire team, where it is an oil and gas company, where they have got the complete technology, a list of technology they were using it, the streaming technology, yeah, they were using the databases, application, lot of things, but they were not having any DR. For each of the component, they want to have the DR solution for that. And that is where, and they were also using the integrations and everything. For those things, yes, we need to design it. We have designed their entire disaster recovery solution, and we have presented it to them, and we have started that last month. Just we are doing the complete discovery part as of now, and then down the line in next 6 to 8 months we are going to complete that project. But that was a very interesting one, where the entire technology stack is there, and then you need to plan for the disaster recovery for that. So even though it is a PaaS service, don't worry about it. As you have the database hold there from years together, that knowledge is going to be used everywhere. Okay, people come to me and say that, okay, what is the need of the DBA now? Okay, we have got an autonomous database which is running. We can just handle it from the from our console itself. So why we need it? I said, ask your project manager to restore the database and start the database and make it work. If your project manager can do that, I'm going to leave this company and leave this role as well. Right? Because that understanding that, okay, what is recovery, how this RMAN works at the back end, till what time you have to recover, and if there is an issue, where to see it, you can't just learn it in one day. You need to have spend years together, and you have already spent that. So nobody can, take that knowledge from you. So that is where your requirement and your availability should always be there, and need is there. Just what you have to do is you have to just change your gear a bit and expand your portfolio.
Thank you, sir.
That is the only thing which you have to do it. Right. So there is this is what I was talking about just now, the iPaaS service. So there is another integration platform as a service is there, which is very much similar to the PaaS service. But how it is going to be there, as I was mentioning that, okay, people are moving to Fusion, but still their legacy instances are there where a lot of data is coming. They don't want to change that. Okay. Maybe their traditional setup, whatever is there, from some place, some data file is coming, getting loaded, but they want to integrate it to the cloud for the further processing purpose and for the analytics purpose and all. So that is where, when you are integrating those services with your on-premise or maybe some another PaaS service, that is where the iPaaS service comes. Okay, you will not see this, this thing very common in the document. Okay, but yeah, this is one area where say your B2B or the SaaS applications are there. Maybe where the multi-cloud comes into picture as well. Okay, where say my SAP is also there, my Oracle application is also there for one division. Okay, like if you consider like G or something, they are on both, but they want some kind of integrations too. Maybe some business data might be useful or maybe require for a centralized reporting or so. So there the integrations comes into picture for between different SaaS applications too. And again, the integration, when I'm talking about the integration, Oracle has got their integration, MuleSoft is there, Delboomi is there. So there are multiple integration services are also there which you can use it. So that also comes under the iPaaS model. Yeah, but yeah, at a high level, It is going to be the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And this is what the Oracle services comes under the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Even like if I say talk about the Java Cloud service here, which you are seeing it as a PaaS, that is where your WebLogic comes into picture. So WebLogic also Oracle gives you, like you select the WebLogic from the marketplace, provision it, and use it. You will get the backend access, but that is not going to be the root. That is going to be the WebLogic user, and you can start using that. So within 10 minutes, your normal WebLogic will get installed. If you want to have an ADF based application over it, it will take around 30 minutes to get done. That's it. 14 WebLogic 14C and all those is also available. So that is where the platform will be provided and you can start using that.
A quick question here.
Yes.
So generally, when you say WebLogic or a database or OAS, the installation time has its own, right? When you install it on your physical data center, it has its 30 minutes to 1, right? And then you need to patch, all these things are there. So how this is accomplished on cloud in 10 minutes or a few seconds? How
See, they have created the images. Okay, the pre-built images, and that is where the containerized thing, like when you're doing it on premise, you need to go with the prerequisite. Sometimes the libraries also needs to be get installed. Some RPMs needs to get installed, right?
Yeah.
So once you are done with that, then you are installing your WebLogic over it. Now they have bundled everything, all the libraries and everything under one virtual machine. Just get that machine, start using it. Containerization. You know, believe that. So that is where. So if I say go to Oracle Marketplace, which is very much similar to your App Store, which is on your phone or Play Store. Okay, and just type here WebLogic. Now see, all your WebLogic images are there. You can select this one. You can see all the versions which are available. 12C WebLogic, 14, 12.2. So you have to just come here, launch stack. And this is where everything is. So this is all automated with the Terraform. See here, it uses basically the Terraform. So all the things are here. So Terraform is basically an infrastructure automation tool. So what you have to do is just say next here. You have to just choose the keys because that is how you are going to log into the server. Upload your keys here. Okay, some details it is going to ask you here about the networking, where you want to deploy that, then the domain and all. Once you have provided all this information, it will start provisioning it. Nothing, you don't have to do anything. Within 15-20 minutes, you will see that your WebLogic is up and running with the URLs there.
Yep.
Right. So this is basically the PaaS service again. Right, and here when you see this, the Sales Cloud, ERP Cloud, SCM, financials, everything is provided. These are nothing but, somebody was saying that your on-premise Fusion instances were there. These are the same Fusion instances. So Oracle Fusion instance is basically when we say talk about on-premise, that requires a huge infrastructure, right? Around 256 GB of memory is the minimum requirement. It is having an IAM services for single sign-on. It has got all the services there. So when this Fusion was there, okay, I have seen that, okay, even I have installed that Fusion and everything. It takes days together to configure that, and it was difficult for the organizations to bring that kind of hardware, provision it and do it. So after Fusion 13, I believe Oracle has stopped providing the on-premise version, and they have then come up with this cloud services. You know that how, this Thomas Kurian and Larry Ellison and all those conflicts were there. They were having this. And then later on, Kurian moved out of Oracle. And looks like what story I have heard is because of this fusion itself only, that their major conflict arises, where Korean was in a favor of providing these services earlier to the cloud, so that Oracle can host it and people can use it. But Larry was a bit not agreed to that. There was a conflict there, and later now they are providing that as a cloud service only. That is a different story. But yeah, that is where the fusion and all those story was there. But yeah, now that fusion, you have to approach Oracle. They are going to create an instance for you after an agreement and give it to you. And everything, your cloning of the instances, refresh of the instance, everything is managed by Oracle for Fusion. Nothing is going to be with you. You are only going to have an end user URL where you can define your users, manage the roles and everything. That's it.
So this Fusion service will come under the Oracle SaaS service, right?
Yeah, that is under the SaaS service.
Thank you.
Right, so let's move to the deployment model quickly. Okay, so you might have heard about the public cloud, private cloud, and the hybrid cloud. So public cloud is something where, like, what we have seen it right now. Okay, so you can log into the console over an internet and can see what all services are there. In case if you need anything, you can just go ahead and create it and start using it. So that is a public cloud. Over an internet, you are accessing it and all. What is private cloud? The same services will be there, but you are not going to access it over the internet. It might be, some private internal network will be there through which you are accessing the services. And apart from that, that cloud services will be very much meant for you. Means it is not going to be used by anybody else, but it is only you who will be using it. Okay. Now, as I was mentioning that, okay, there were some private services which are available for in the public cloud as well. Okay, so if I say go to compute, yeah, you can see this dedicated virtual machine host. So as I was saying that, okay, when you are creating the virtual machine, you are basically, creating on the hardware, which is also used by another customer as well. But that is a complete isolated stuff. But this is where the thing is, you can create a dedicated virtual machine host. Okay, what is this host? This will be a big host kind of thing, like say around 52 CPU machine is going to be created as a base hardware. And then over that, you can install your further machines on that. Like say I want to have a 16 CPU machine. In that, you can create a 16 CPU machine. If you want to have say 10 more machines of lower size, you can create in that. So you will get a big box which has got say 52 OCPUs, and in that you can break it and get the get those the CPUs, the compute instance as per your requirement, like how you do it in the VMware virtualization, right? VM machines. You have a big hardware and then you create multiple machines on that. Exactly the same thing, dedicated virtual machine host, where you are going to do the same way. I think this is the free account. That's why it is not showing it. But yeah, I can show you that in some of the paid account. Right. So hybrid cloud, which is basically, like some services I want to keep it on the public and something on the private. So that is a hybrid cloud. Hybrid cloud, something I can define, a combination of my own data center and the cloud. Like I want to keep the database on my on-premise, but application I can install it on the cloud. That is also a hybrid cloud, right? Because the application is going to say on the public cloud, but my database, you can consider that as a private cloud where you are installing it. So that is also a hybrid cloud. And that is earlier used to be, say, a first step towards the cloud. Usually you are going to say on-premise, my application and database are running on-premise. For the DR, I am going to use the cloud service. Okay, so Oracle has started their sales part on the cloud like that only. That okay, don't move anything, just use our cloud service for the DR, where you don't need a downtime. Okay, you just need to create a standby database. You don't need a downtime. You can use our services and have a feel of it. If you are okay with that, then you can switch it and start using our cloud. Right. So this is the public cloud, private cloud, where we have. So private cloud is something, if I say talk about the private cloud in Oracle, Oracle gives you this service for the database. This, can you see this service? Oracle Exadata database service on cloud at customer. Okay, and now you can also see something like dedicated region. No, not this one. Yeah, Oracle Compute Cloud at customer. This is the service which has been launched, I think 2 months back or so, 2 or 3 months back. So what Oracle does in this is, Oracle is going to give you the compute VM instances or machine, or maybe say if I talk about the Exadata, services, the complete Exadata box with the cloud tools and all that installed on that will be shipped to you. You can keep it in your data center. Oracle team will be configuring it and managing it remotely via secure channel. Okay, and you will be using that as the database service. Means your database, you can create it, you can do that. You will also be accessing that from the console. Okay, but that is going to be the private channel only. Nothing is going to be on the public. So that way you can that is basically the private cloud service which Oracle provides. So everything will be like in the customer premises. Even this cloud at customer, the compute at customer, that is also the compute instances, the machine will be on the customer data center only. So that is basically the private thing. Okay, nobody else can use that.
So basically you won't pay for the machine, but you just pay a subscription, right?
Yeah, subscription, but that is going to be a bit higher from the public cloud, because in your premises things are provided, so it might be a bit higher cost, but not going to be like you are not going to own that machine.
Yeah, okay. In the past, we had a supercluster in our data center, so they were comes in millions. And basically, what we bought the service where Oracle supports everywhere. It's called Green Support or something. So basically,
Green support something, right? Yeah.
With Oracle already, so they monitor the system, they come and install, they upgrade everything, they do it. The only thing as a DBA, what we do is maintain the database, monitor the database, and even Oracle was monitoring the database. So because when you see an Oracle alert in the alert log, if it is a severe alert, they ping you right away, and they send the field staff right away, because it's a service level. SLA is like 4 hours, so they immediately send somebody, even without we know it. So, but we bought the machine, we own the machine there. Now we won't be owning it. So,
we won't be owning. So this is where it comes. See here, these are the machines which Oracle is going to provide. You will be just accessing this machine, and this is all like on the subscription basis. Okay, and Oracle is going to set up the secure access for their operation team. This is Oracle operation team. So this is going to maintain your servers. Okay, but at the same time, this becomes a bit, issue as well. That okay, if how come Oracle is accessing our machines, and they are also having an access to the data, but that is not the case. Okay, they only have access to the hardware, but not to the data. Okay, that has been strictly even communicated, because this was why I am coming to that is this was one of the question from our CAP team, the that okay, how this is there, and can we get more clarity on that. Then Oracle has come inside, and they have mentioned everything, that okay, this is how the architecture is. Our operation support person will not be having access to any kind of data which is owned by you. So he has only
So
access to
how is that done? Is it
so
through the policy
Exadata
creation,
architecture,
or
if you see that,
yeah?
okay, it has got that DOM 0 and DOM U domains, right?
Okay.
DOM O is basically the Oracle domain. That is where they have an access. They don't have any access to the user domain.
Okay.
So that is how it is controlled, and for that they have, I think, only a one-way access. They don't have two-way access to some of the at some places. Means I think only one-way access is there. They can't retrieve any kind of data and keep it with them. Everything
Okay.
is going to be here only.
So private cloud is strictly Exadata.
Yeah, Exadata and PCA, like Oracle. If you remember that Exalogic machines were there for the Oracle. Earlier, we used to have Exalogic and Exadata. So Exalogic is basically for the application. Now that has been renamed to PCA devices, private cloud application.
Okay.
So that is now going to be provided as a cloud service based on the subscription.
Okay.
So
And the
the
hybrid one is
customer,
yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead. Please
the
go ahead.
customer which I was talking about, they have got the same thing. They were using the Exalogic, Exalytics, which is the analytics services. Okay, and they were using the Exadata. All three they were using it earlier. Okay, the traditional way. But now they have been migrated to cloud. So they are having a cloud at customer, in which they are having the Exadata service. They are having an PCA, and they have got in the PCA only you have also got an analytics as well.
Okay.
So that is what they have in their premises. So we have migrated that completely, and now that is running on. So and they have around saved somewhere around, on the long run, they have saved around 50 to 60% of their revenue on the infrastructure. Yeah, you're asking something as well. The private cloud, right? Or hybrid cloud.
Yes, I said, what about the hybrid cloud version? That's only the compute that Oracle ships to the data center of the customer.
Yeah, that is also there. That is the new service which Oracle has launched, the compute cloud at customer.
Okay.
Okay, so in that the compute services will be provided in the premises, but yeah, again it is going to be shipping the hardware and all.
Shipping to the hardware, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thanks.
So one concern only, this private cloud is mean that this is on-premise cloud, right?
Yeah, private cloud is on-premise, more secure and more compliant. So more compliant in the sense it takes care of the data residency and data sovereignty issue. That is the
okay. So you mean to say
solution
private
for that.
cloud, nothing but just on-premise cloud, right?
Yeah, on-premise, but again on the subscription basis.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the hardware side, IaaS is managed and controlled by Oracle.
Yeah, or maybe something like you can that is there. No, I
What
don't want to
about
confuse.
those service which is like, for example, first you say public cloud. Public cloud means you don't know where you are actually running. I mean, you just responsible for your services, right? For example, I've created the instance, but which server, which type of where, here, there, I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea.
But there is
The only thing
something
is you are going to know the region that okay, it is going to be
exactly.
in the Azure data center, but where it will
Yes.
be, you don't know that.
Yeah. There is something called like I don't know exactly what is the name of that. Means you have some dedicated hardware as well on the public cloud, right? I mean,
yeah,
on that way. So that one is what we call it. It will not be the private as well.
No, I will not consider that because it is still in the public data center. But the only thing is
But
you
you
will
still use
be,
dedicated
yeah,
resources for you, right?
yeah. So what it is like,
Yeah, like for
you are
example, this is
creating,
dedicated.
yeah,
Yeah.
there will be a
So what
dedicated
we call
box.
this one? This one will be again is a public cloud.
Yeah, this is in the public cloud itself.
Okay.
But the server
Okay.
will be dedicated to you. Means
Okay.
nobody else will be using this server. No virtual machine will come. It is all
Okay.
going to be dedicated to you, but still it will be in the public cloud.
Okay. So somebody will say private cloud is not considered is this
Yeah.
all
So
things.
something like, your regular, like, there might be some auditing related stuff or compliance related that your data should, on which machine it is there, that should be an isolated machine. So this is the one. Okay. So you can see to meet your compliance or regulatory requirement for the isolation itself, because when you are creating any virtual machine, a compute instance in the public cloud, it is on the shared hardware. But if you don't want that, you can create a dedicated hardware.
Okay.
And then create your deploy your instance.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I think I have included that somewhere in here. Okay, so hybrid, we know that, okay, it is a combination of public and private, where you can just, so this is again a shared security responsibility there too. Okay, the public side is going to be there, and yeah, the sensitive data or whatever it is, we have got more control on that. Then comes your multi-cloud. So multi-cloud is like to get best of all from all the vendors, like your Azure services, your Oracle Cloud services, which is there. Okay, the two providers, and then you have a multi-cloud. Okay, the services are shared, even though I can keep my application on the Azure side and database on the Oracle. Okay, so multiple vendors will be there, and you are basically going to use the services, whatever the best services are there from that. Yeah, so this is
So
where
here is also confusion. I mean, this is differential like hybrid and multi-cloud.
So here, if you see, when it is like two different cloud vendors, then it is a multi-cloud. Okay, but these are like something which I can also, have it like some applications I'm keeping it on premise. Okay, or maybe, some dedicated, those in that dedicated data centers of my on premise. So that is going to be a public cloud, right? Again, I can run my application on the Azure cloud. Okay, I can have my database traditionally there on the, okay, like this is a very good example. Let me just draw this. Okay, so here is my, say, application, which is on the Azure side. Okay, say is it, sorry for my writing. Okay, and then I have my database which is running on the Oracle cloud. Okay, now this is where my database is running, right? But what I'm doing here is, okay, so this is my application running, my database, I say keep it on premise. Okay, and I'm just creating the DR of this on Oracle cloud. So again, this is say my multi-cloud because I'm using Azure and Oracle. Okay, at the same time, this is going to be my hybrid cloud as well because I am using on-premise and cloud. So this is where the case is. I am keeping my database here. I am keeping my application on Azure. I am keeping my database DR on Oracle Cloud for this. So this is just an example. Okay. So here I'm going to have a multi-cloud because I'm using two. And here is then hybrid because I'm using public and the private cloud. On-premise is nothing but my private cloud, right? Means private, it is private to
Okay.
me.
Mhm. Okay, means we cannot mix with a hybrid is a multi-vendor cloud, right?
Usually it is not there. Don't want
No,
to
because
make
in the way people are describing, getting confused. Before I was thinking hybrid cloud means like a multi-vendor clouds functionality. I mean,
oh, okay, yeah,
maybe Azure layer or maybe Amazon, these all things, something. Because in especially for the workplace and even interview also, like they are asking, you have multi-cloud experience, hybrid cloud experience, something like this. So get confused that what
Okay.
exactly this question means.
Yeah. So hybrid is basically this and multi is basically this. So
Yeah,
don't get
multi-cloud
confused now. Yeah.
clear mention here that the multi is like a
Multiple
different type
cloud
of vendor.
vendors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
vendor, multi-vendors cloud. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think, yeah. Right. So we have, yeah. So some of the cloud fundamental services are there. So what I want is, okay, we can basically, stop here. Okay. I will be covering this fundamental services along with the identity and access management services followed by that in our, tomorrow's lecture. Okay. And let's understand about the identity. So tomorrow's lecture will be more on the identity and access management services. More details will be there and we will be just continuing this fundamental services. So I'm going to start with region. Okay. The region here, then in the region you have got basically data centers. Like in Oracle there are regions, like if you see this Phoenix and Ashburn, these are the regions where you have got multiple data centers in it. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 data centers. So like here when I go ahead and create say a compute instance. Okay, but remember not all the regions have got multiple data centers in it. Okay, now yeah, can you see this AD1, AD2 and AD3? These are basically 3 data centers within the same region. Okay, these are not different one. So I can go ahead and plan that, okay, I can create one instance in this and maybe I can create another instance in AD2 or another one in AD3. So there are 3 different data centers there, but that all comes under the Phoenix region. Okay, but there are other data centers. Okay, other regions are there, which only has got one data center. So maximum regions in Oracle, they have got one data center. So like here you can see this Phoenix and Ashburn. These are the data centers which has got 3 regions which has got 3 data centers. There is another one, London, and one more is there. Phoenix, Ashburn, London, and one more. 4 regions are there which has got multiple data centers. All others have got single data center. So if I just say go ahead and subscribe this, let me see if it allows me to subscribe or not. Okay, I think I will not be, because this is the free account. So that is okay. No, I think I should be able to. Let me just go to, so there are 2 in Ashburn. Yeah, so this is London region. So London basically has got 3 data centers in it. Okay, so we will see that, okay, how this has been designed. So, and apart from that, we also have the fault domains, which I think somebody has point out that the fault domains, what are these? So we will understand that concept because that is required from the designing point of view. And then we are going to talk about the identity and access management services. Okay, so complete this portion we are going to start with tomorrow, like the designing part, like how the what are the compartments there, what are the policies, how the access control is given. So that is where the starting point of Oracle Cloud, because you are going to create the user first and then use, like in Oracle applications, what you do, you are creating the user and then assigning the, what you are assigning their responsibilities.
Yeah, roles and yeah.
Right. And then they are going to do the activities, like for the finance, you are only giving the finance role. For inventory and procurement, you are only giving that kind of role.
Sure.
So the similar thing, like, if I am a database administrator, okay, which I am, so I will be only restricting you to the database services. I will not be allowed to say that, okay, you are going to deal anything with networking. I don't want that. I give you the access for the networking and you can play around with the things. No, corporate network is something which needs to be secure. So only the network administrator should have access. So how you are going to control that? That is what we are going to see in the identity and access management services in our tomorrow's session. Okay. And just an heads up to you, tomorrow's session might be, max can go up to 4 hours. So be prepared with that. Keep coffee and some snacks with you. Okay. Okay. So
But
anything
break
there?
will be
And
20 minutes, please.
yeah, I can give you 2 breaks. Okay. I can give you 2 breaks, but each break will be of 10 to 12 minutes. 20 minutes you will be, maybe somebody can take a nap as well and maybe forget to switch on the alarm. So I don't
Okay,
want.
15 minutes.
Okay. Sure. We can negotiate tomorrow then.
One
Okay.
question for the here. Initial, I get confused with again a region point of view. As you mentioned, now each region can have multiple data centers, right? As
Yeah.
I seen here, it's called availability zone, right? Availability domain, AD.
Availability domain. Yeah. Zone is
Okay.
in Azure.
So again, I have to change my answer. I say you can say availability domain is the actual data center.
Yeah. So I will be, bringing you to this one.
Okay.
So see here, you have a geographical location. Okay. Region 1, region 2, region 3.
For
Now
example, take any geographical region, take one country, not the multiple. I mean.
Okay. So let's, take here
As US or UK or
Phoenix
India. Yeah.
region.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now this is basically my Phoenix.
Okay.
Now in this Phoenix region, that is my geographical region. In that I have a data center. Okay. 3 data centers in it. 1,
Okay.
2, and 3. Now the catch here is these 3 data centers are all connected with each other.
Sure. No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these 3 data centers are max 50 miles apart, not more than that.
Okay.
Okay. So this still comes in the Phoenix region. Now, when I am creating an instance, I can select any of these
Any of
data
the
centers
domain,
and can
yes.
deploy the instance. Okay. And since these, so what it is, where it is going to help me is in case, ultimately this is all in hardware. Okay.
Okay.
In case if some issue occurs and my availability domain is down, I still have 2
Two
availability
more
domains
yeah.
where I can plan something, my application design in such a way that within the region only I have an high availability.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can say like this, the main production on the DR or something like this can make. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
But this is not going to be my solution, or say the real solution for my disaster recovery, because this is all 50 miles apart. If hurricane comes, it is not going to be like, affecting only this one and not this and this. It is going to affect everything, right? So in that case, I need to plan for my DR region, which is going to be another region, which is way apart from this. Okay, then I am going to come to this one. So this is going to be good, you can have one more layer of designing or say a tolerance
Yeah.
there for the high availability and all. Okay, that was an initial 4 data centers only where Oracle has multiple initial 4 regions only where Oracle has got multiple data centers. After that, whatever Oracle has added, that only has got one availability domain or say one data center only. Okay.
Okay.
But in that case, your design strategy will be a bit changed, because what Oracle strategy is, they want to expand globally. Okay, so they are first creating data centers in each of the country. Okay, and when they are saying that, okay, you have a data regulation or say the compliance requirement, they are just creating another region within the same country. Okay, so that is
it
how they
depends
are
on the
expanding.
customer. I mean, the business
that depends on
requirement,
the
right?
customer.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay.
But after some time, you can see that, okay, maybe number of customers are getting increased in say India, Hyderabad. Okay, where their existing data center is something is creating a bottleneck kind of thing. They will add one more data center in the same region then. So availability domain 2 will be active once it is created. So that is how the Oracle strategy is. Okay, but we will understand it better. Okay, I'm going to consider both the aspect that if you have a single availability domain, what will be your option, and if you have multiple availability domain, what you
that
can
will be
achieve.
great, because we have some situation like this to choose the which is the best. So here is concern, but with the Oracle,
Sure.
everything is easy. For us,
Yeah.
it's quite pretty tricky part.
Yes.
So how are you gonna
Sure.
select
We will consider that use case
Okay.
only, and I'll cover
Okay.
that.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I hope you like the session today, and
Yes, of course.
right, the discussion and all. So yeah, we will moving with the same way, but yes, more fun is going to be there in the upcoming session. So stay tuned and be ready.
I wish we get
All right,
something
sir.
like a real life project, so I want to see exactly.
I can give you
yes.
some scenarios which you can easily implement it in your free accounts as well. Okay, apart from
Okay,
that,
sir.
we'll be adding with the use cases as well, which are basically nothing but the practical scenarios which I have faced it and which we have implemented it. So that is also going to be shared.
Yeah, it will
All
be
right,
great.
sir.
Sounds good.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Thanks
you,
a lot.
sir.
Time, sir.
And yeah, thank you. And have a good rest of your day, and good night to those who are in India. And thanks,
Most
Richa, for your support.
Quick question.
Yeah, please.
I put it in the, I think I sent it a message to you, so you can reply tomorrow,
Oh, yes, sure.
I put it in
I
the
will.
chat, so if you can
Okay.
give me a response tomorrow, that'll be helpful.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.